All right, guys, before I get started, I want to send a big shout out to my brother Malcolm for requesting this video. In this video, guys, I'm going to talk about being the black sheep in the family. What is that?
So the black sheep returns.
To understand the whole black sheep terminology, we have to understand how culture operates and how belief system operates. And we can go down to talk about like small groups, like neighborhoods or something like that, down to like the whole family system. All right. So let's start with culture. Let's think about culture for a second.
In my culture, death is not the end.
This tradition in Chinese culture.
If you go outside right now, look around you, you'll see so many people behave differently, dress differently. It depends on what part of the world they're from and stuff like that.
Where are you from?
The way they dress, completely different from what you used to. But now, you on the outside of the culture, you're looking at them thinking to yourself like, whoa, they dress really weird. Why do they dress like that? Why do they put paint on their face, for instance? Like, you know, it's because you outside of the culture, you observing from the outside of the culture. So you don't understand why certain things happen. Now, someone inside of the culture will probably understand, or to them, it's very normal. It's nothing. It's a part of
my cultural beliefs. It is their deep belief.
You know, they're born, they're raised, they notice the thing and they just go with it because it's a part of their belief system. You get what I'm saying? So you outside of the culture, you're looking at it, you don't know how to process the whole thing. So the only information you can actually come up with is them being super weird.
Because of my beliefs, because of my views.
It's only because you was outside of the culture though. It's the same way the culture looking at your culture, looking at it like, yo, why do they behave the way they do? It's so weird. To you, because you're inside of the culture, you view it as normal. And to them, because they observe and they are the observer, so they view it as weird because they don't understand your point of view. They don't understand your belief system.
It's different in every culture.
So do you understand what I'm saying now? Now, culture divided into multiple different things. Let's talk about religious beliefs. So many different religions and stuff like that.
Every culture
has their own belief system. You see what I'm saying? So the minute, let's say, one religion decide to like go inside of another religion, just because of their differences,
Culture clash. Culture clash.
they will look at it as like, okay, that person, very weird. Okay, we can't do that. It's not right. Because it's not part of their belief system. So do you get what I'm saying? So do you see how belief system operates and how someone outside of your culture can view you as weird, or you outside of someone else's culture can view them as weird? Like, you get what I'm saying, right? It's how we think. Let's look at neighborhood, for instance, or let's look at school. When someone fresh in a neighborhood and the person completely different, they dress different, let's say their hairstyle completely different, just because the people in the neighborhood not used to that kind of let's say hairstyle or dress code,
New guy!
they start looking at the person as strange, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it's so weird.
Why does he dress like that?
Like what?
Why do you dress like that? And there's a possibility women in that culture not going to be interested in you because you're very different and it's something that they're not used to. And in their mind, you're not their type. Also, there's a possibility women from that culture can view you as interesting because you dress differently from everyone else. If you're different, the spotlight going to be on you for sure. Okay? So they're going to start looking at you thinking like, okay, why are you so different? And if you're confident, there's a huge possibility they're gonna want to know you.
Hey, new guy. Beer?
Like, you get what I'm saying, right? So do you understand where I'm going with this? It's very important, okay? So it's the same as school. It depends on the style, right? I'm pretty sure every year there's a new style. People dress differently and stuff, and you have to follow that style.
I'm well versed in emerging trends.
The change in cultural trends.
Start a trend.
If you don't follow that style, you're not going to be part of the cool kids.
Get mocked? Only by the cool kids.
You're not going to be part of the cool people. And most likely, people are going to make fun of you. They're going to treat you they're not going to want to be around you because you're not cool, right? You're not following their style. You're not following the group. you're completely different. So now let's jump down to family. Now, let's say your great-grandparents, for instance, had certain beliefs, and your great-grandparents passed on the belief to your grandparents, and your grandparents passed the belief system to your parents, and your parents trying to pass on the same exact belief system onto you, and you question it. Oh, there's a problem here, bro. You question it. How dare you question something that's been around for a very long time? And that's when you become the black sheep. Okay? The minute you start questioning your family belief system, the minute you start questioning why your family do what they do, man, they're going to start treating you completely different. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. I remember my family, obviously, you know, if you're black, your family automatically going to be religious or Christian or something like that. So my family, they're pretty religious and stuff, right? So I remember growing up, and we used to go to church every Saturday. Every Saturday we would go to church, man. And they would do their Sabbath thing and everything else. But for me, I had questions, a lot of questions. But they wanted me to get baptized, you know? So I was like, no, I can't get baptized, man. I need answers before I decide to get baptized. And they couldn't answer my questions. There are some deep questions, to be honest with you. Very, very weird questions. Like, you know, sometimes you have to question things. So because I questioned the pastor so much and he couldn't answer me, he thought something was wrong with me. He thought some demon inside of me. Believe it or not, the guy came to my house to pray for me because he thought something was wrong with me. I told him, cool. I'm like, okay, you know what? You can pray for me. You can do whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. At the end of the day, if you can't answer my question, we're not going to move forward. I'm not going to get baptized. And I was very serious about that. And I believe I was like, 11, 12 years old at that time. Think about it for a second, guys. So obviously my family members, they view me as weird. I didn't follow their beliefs. And obviously they didn't kick me out the house, but they treat me a little bit differently. So now let's move on to another example. You know, I used to love observe people's behavior, and I used to question it all the time. And I never used to like following the group. I never used to like following any sort of tribe. Even in high school, the way, let's say, popular kids used to dress, the way everyone used to dress, I couldn't do it. I simply couldn't do it. You know, every time they would do something, I would do the opposite. In high school, obviously, I never used to be bullied or anything like that. I never experienced it, but I was just different. Because I remember one time, one of my friends, he told me that, like, yo, David, man, if you dress fresh, bro, if you wear like Tommy Hilfigers, that's what people used to wear. Still wearing at the time, actually, because I'm from the island, right? And clocks and stuff, and that's what people wear in the island till this day, clocks. But I never used to wear no clocks because I thought clocks stupid and like too expensive. Why the hell am I gonna pay $150 freaking on a clocks for? No way. I didn't want to do that. So my friends, they view me as like very weird because I used to wear like a $40 shoe to go to school. But I was still the cool kid in school because I didn't give a damn. It didn't bother me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Think about fashion, for instance. Yo, the minute you have a new fashion come out, everyone start dressing the same exact way, following the fashion, following the group, following the style. Look at social media, for instance. If there's a new trend going on, everyone jumped on that damn wagon and start riding the wave. Think about it for a second. They're basically wiring their brain the same exact way, the same exact belief system. And the minute you decide to say, you know what, I'm not gonna follow that shit, I'm not gonna do that garbage, they're gonna view you as weird. They're not gonna feel comfortable to hang around you. Although whenever they need help, whenever they have like questions about something or they stress the hell out, they will go to you for advice. They will go to you for help. Like, you get what I'm saying? Man, I remember, man, I used to argue with my mother a lot because I used to warn her about a lot of different things, man. I used to warn her so much. I used to tell her, like, Mom, look, man, please just trust me. The path you're going, it's not right. Especially the way people used to use her a lot. She thought, man, everyone just super nice. And they used to manipulate her to the max. They used to use her a lot. And I used to tell her, like, yo, you probably can see it, but that person not a good person. They're using you. She used to tell me, oh, what do you know? What? And her friends, I never used to say hello to them. I did not like them because I noticed that they were using my mother, and I did not appreciate that. But she couldn't see it. And whenever I trying to call them out, she would be like, oh, just go, stay away. Stuff like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? But later on down the line, she realized that, okay, yo, you were right. They weren't my friend for real. You know, it's the gift of the black sheep. You're able to see other things people can't see. Of course, people are not going to understand you. They're not. It's going to be hard because, yo, you're going to feel lonely. Your family member is going to view you as strange, especially when you're not interested in doing the whole family stuff. You're not interested in like going to the family party. They're going to view you as super, super weird. Outsiders going to reinforce that belief because the minute you're not interested in doing whatever people doing in the culture, and like, let's say the modern world or something, or they throwing parties, and you're not interested in shit like that, it's just not your thing. Your friends, they're gonna view you as weird. Your family looking at you as a weird person, and your friends looking at you as a weird person. Your teacher probably looking at you as a weird person. You're like, damn, what the hell? Maybe I am weird then. Nah, you're not weird. You're just not following the crowd. You're just not following the group. You have your own belief system. You're unique. And people like you can change the world because you're completely different. You just need to believe in yourself. You get what I'm saying? So, guys, back to the family. You know, if you're different, your family going to treat you completely differently. But it doesn't mean that they hate you. They just don't understand you because they're not used to the type of belief system. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to use my uncles as an example. Okay, so I have two uncles, two brothers. They raised in the same exact home. Okay, so now let's go with my grandmother. My grandmother, let's say, low-key, she was out there. I guess she was out there. She has a lot of kids, man. Anyway, she was out there. But the type of guys that she used to go for, they were like, let's say, like the uneducated guys, the guys who are like they just out there, you know, no goals, no nothing like that. It's the type of guy she used to go for. But one of my uncle, he was the gangster type. Seriously, he was very, very bad. But my grandmother used to love him so much. Insane, bro. So much. It's because it's her belief system, is what she's used to. So she happened to love that uncle very much. My other uncle, however, he was quiet. He was more into his education. She didn't like him that much. She did not like him that much at all. Think about it for a second, guys. I really need you to think about this, all right? So I'm going to say it one more time. My grandma, she was into like, let's say, the guys like no goals, nothing, just living the fast life, pleasure and stuff like that. And my uncle, the uneducated one, happened to have the same exact behavior, and she happened to love him off because he was normal to her. You see what I'm saying? So my other uncle, however, he was more into his education, the quiet, not into gangs and stuff like that. She wasn't used to that type of lifestyle. She wasn't used to that type of behavior. And she treated him differently. Think about it for a second, guys. She didn't like him very much. She didn't hate him, but she just couldn't understand him. So she kind of like distanced herself away from him. But my other uncle, however, it was all lovey-dovey, all hugs, loving him off, treating him really well. Now, the educated uncle happened to be a neurosurgeon now. Okay, he's doing good for himself. He living the good life, a proper family, decent family. He's a happy man. Think about it. He's like big now. Think about it. To be a neurosurgeon in the island, very, very big. You got mad respect. But she still didn't like him like that. She still didn't care about any of that stuff. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, she was happy that her son, like, you know, successful and stuff, but she still loved off the other uncle. So it's something I really want you to think about. If your family not used to something or a certain type of behavior, the minute you're trying to change, the minute you're trying to distance yourself away from their beliefs, man, they're not going to be happy about that, is what I'm trying to make you understand. They're not going to be happy about it. Not that they're not going to be happy about it, wrong word, I would say. They're not going to understand it. And you're gonna feel very lonely most of your time. But I'm pretty sure if you're a black sheep, the minute they're in trouble, the minute they need some information, they go straight to you to ask you, and usually you will have the answer. Think about it for a second. Do you know what that means?
Everybody already knows you're the best.
What I'm trying to make you understand, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. I know loneliness, man, it's pretty painful. It's very, very painful. It hurt to be alone. But what you should do, you should embrace your uniqueness. You should embrace being alone. Don't feel bad for yourself. Don't hurt your head about things. Don't go crazy about it. You're fine. You're normal. You're not crazy. Trust me. And your loneliness, use it to develop your mind. Okay? Develop your mind to become the best version of you. You get what I mean? The best version of you, man. And guess what? You're gonna make a difference in the world just because of your uniqueness. You have something to offer to the world. You probably can't feel it now, but it's true. If you develop your mind to become the best version of who you are, you confident as hell, you have something to offer to the world, because everyone in the world, when you think about it, look around you, everyone act the same exact way. They watch the same TV shows. All they do is talk about what's on Netflix and stuff like that. They basically wire their brain the same exact way, but you happen to be completely different. Of course, man, you have something to offer. Of course you can change the world. But you shouldn't sit around feeling bad about yourself. You shouldn't sit around feeling sorry for yourself, or because of your loneliness, you feeling like, damn, man, no one like me, no one want to be around me. No, you're just unique. You're just different from other people. Your thinking, your belief system, completely different from everyone else. You don't follow no crowd. You don't follow no group. You have your own pathway. It's something big, man. It's a gift. And you should use your time to become the best version of yourself. Remember that. Your culture, your group, your family will remember you. Okay? They will remember your name. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for more great content. If you have anything to say, let it out in the comment section. See you next time. Ciao.